Welcome back to Radio Noir. This is Pat Doherty here, and I recently moved my podcasting office into the attic of my house. Used to do this whole narrative operation in my bedroom, and then after a while, there was something menacing about having some recording equipment in the room that you sleep, just taunting you, reminding you that you have work that you should be doing, and yeah, that just doesn't make for a healthy sleep cycle. So I moved it to the mustier accommodations of a kind of creepy looking attic. I don't know, maybe I'll talk better up here. Perhaps you can smell the wood grain through your speakers. I know I can. I had an interesting experience. Many of you know I teach music classes at the Science Museum of Minnesota, and they hosted their first 21 plus event there. Interesting seeing a bar in your place of employment, but it was called Social Science, and the reason I bring it up is because I just had this weird breakthrough, maybe call it a epiphany, a faux philosophical realization. I'm sure this has been thought of by many other humans before me, but there was a nice little exhibit that had a bunch of animal trainers, and they, were handling some animals you're not going to encounter too often, like snakes, scorpions, alligators, turtles, and I noticed a lot of people were really apprehensive about touching these things or approaching them, and I was trying to figure out why that was, and I think that fear and of the unknown is fundamentally probably a part of like why there's so much prejudice in the world. It's just, it stems from this lack of information and fear, really. But I was watching these animals interact, and I was talking to their trainers about how they were found, and a lot of these animals were abused, but particularly the crocodile. And people were really scared of it, and I found when you looked in that thing's eyes, you could just tell it really just wanted the cuddle. And I think that's what unites every living thing on this planet. The human beings, just because we're the smartest game in town, we naturally have this condescension to every other living thing on the planet, that it's just inferior and stupid. And in reality, I think all life is just kind of the same. We're all in this together, and we all want the same things. We all want to be loved, and we're all trying to figure that out the best way we can. Maybe I'm rambling, but am I wrong? I don't know. Who knows? On the street at night, what a sorry sight. Alright, so this week we're gonna dip into the vault again. And new episodes are coming, I swear. Just hang with me on that one. We just really need to get this old backlog stuff out. It needs to see the light of day, and I'm glad it finally is. It feels good to get this stuff out here, and it's been fun listening to it. I haven't, none of us have touched it for months now, but now that this show's back in full swing, it's been really great to re-listen to and just listen to all the stupid stuff I said. That's not true. That's not true. I don't think all of it's entirely stupid. I'm just being self-deprecating and insecure right now. But this podcast was, for me, life-changing. It was the first international experience we had on the show. And I don't know how he found Radio Noir, but I'm glad he did. It was an artist from Denmark named Cleemann. And he actually stayed with us at our house for a weekend. You know, he had some downtime in between cities on his American tour, and we were more than happy to, you know, let him stay with us. And we took him to all our favorite restaurants in the cities and Twin Cities hangout and hangouts, and just great conversations, especially hearing a perspective that came from, you know, across the Atlantic Ocean. I never had that opportunity to do that in a as in depth as I did with Cleemann. And we talked about really just everything. I mean, food, religion, philosophy, music, politics, and the music is great, by the way. I still we exchange records, and I still listen to his record, 45 Minutes, Mostly About Caring. If you don't know it or don't have it, you have the internet now. You can find these things for yourselves. Check it out. You have no excuses. But a lot of the political dialogue we had was extremely worthwhile to me, especially because we just got done with the, you know, Bush era, and America's international image wasn't that great. And I was intrigued. I wanted to know, I wanted to hear from a European perspective of how America and Americans were viewed internationally. And Obama just got elected, so of course socialism got brought up several times, just because that's all you heard on the news. It was just this stupid buzzword dart that they were throwing on the wall constantly, and it didn't really mean anything, mostly because I don't think they really know what socialism is, but that's a topic of another podcast. Anyway, the gist of, like, the heart of what we got to, socialism may not be America's thing, but there's no reason why we shouldn't have free healthcare. End of diatribe. Here's Cleemann. Welcome back to Radio Noir. This is Pat Tucker, your host. Today we have Cleemann in the studio, all the way from Denmark. And this is actually interesting because we got a man from the States and a man from across the pond. Like, how'd you guys manage that? Let's tell that story a little bit.
Well, I put an ad in the paper under personals.
I was desperate. I was so desperate.
My record is released by a label called Series 2 in Nebraska, and the guy Christopher, their new Derek. So, last time when I came to play the Nebraska Pop Festival, Christopher suggested that we would team up with Derek, and Sweet Music was created.
Yeah, it was seemed like a natural connection that we had right away.
Well, speaking of music to be created, what song do you want the world to hear?
The first song that we plan to do is called Collide, which is a song that we really like to start with for some reason. Probably it's easy or something. And it usually gets my voice working, so it's like clearing my throat song. No, actually, it's pretty serious about things not working out as you planned, I guess, in some ways. But enough said. Derek Higgins gets to start with the mean red bass. Keep Feels like the road is too narrow once we start to slide. I bet that we will. I'm sure of myself. We'll hide it away on some faraway shelf. We'll keep it out of the light. We'll keep chugging, it's right. It's alright, but all of the time it grows. Sooner or later it shows, 'cause it feels like we fade a little when truth and dreams collide. Feels like the road is too narrow once we start to slide. When truth and dreams collide, there'll be nowhere left to hide. Of the time it grows, sooner or later it shows, 'cause it feels like we fade a little when truth and dreams collide. Feels like the road is too narrow once we start to slide. When truth and dreams collide, there'll be nowhere left to hide. Oh, we will crash, we will fall, but we'll get back up again. Yeah, we will crash and we'll fall, but we'll get back up again. I know that we will. I know that we
You are listening to Radio Noir. This is Pat Doherty, your host, and Cleemann is in the studio. I want to talk about your current record, 45 Minutes, mostly about caring. First of all, how did you come up with that title?
Well, actually, it started as a coincidence when I was mixing with Meyer Thaler, the producer down in Germany, and we kind of had all the tracks mixed for the first time, and he burned me a disc, and we just saw that it was exactly 45 minutes long. I really like that. It's like the length of a school lesson.
Yeah,
it's like a half in a what we call football match. That's a game played with the foot, as opposed to a game where you throw a ball and catch it.
Yeah, which we should call hand egg.
Or throw and catch ball. No, sorry about drifting off there. But actually, I edited out a part of a song, so I was left with less than 45 minutes. So in order to make it 45 minutes again, I was in a wooden house in Sweden with my family, and we were 8 people sitting in a room being totally quiet, and I recorded that with a nice stereo mic setting, and told everyone to think about something positive. So at the end of the album, there's like a minute of people thinking about something positive. If you turn the volume really high, you will hear that there's birds outside of the wooden house.
Oh,
and
wow.
also there's a buzz from the electrical fence which is around the house, because otherwise there would be cows in the garden. So you have both the birds and the electrical fence, and I thought that was a nice image.
Yeah, that's I have to ask, are you a fan of John Cage at all? Just
No,
really?
no. Well, I might be, you know. I'm aware of his existence and his silence. Whatever, 4 minutes of silence.
The concept of that is just there is no such thing as silence, and that there's 3 movements of not playing, but the venue and the people in the room. I kind of took it that we're all part of that experience, and we all make sound, and that's kind of like the concept behind that. And I was wondering if you took that to heart when you went on with the room endeavor.
Yeah, I knew about his silent things, and of course I think that got me, but also, you know, it felt so nice to have some of the people I love, you know, to participate. And it was just a beautiful sunny day out in the countryside in Sweden, which is very beautiful as well. So, you know, and that's now we've only been to the 45 minutes part, because there's also the title is longer. But we could play a song and then return to it. I don't know how you would want it.
Well, let's go into another one right now. What's this one going to be called?
Should we do Aviator?
Yeah.
Then I would have to switch to the acoustic guitar, I think, because it's nice. So, and this is a non-album track. But it will be on the next one, presumably, unless I come up with something better. About aviation, I got into the.
Oh, I see. It's just being mic'd.
Okay. I got into the frame of mind of aviation through reading the Antoine Saint-Exupéry. Pardon my French. The guy with the author with the Little Prince. He wrote a beautiful book called Wind, Sand and Stars about his experiences as a postal pilot way back in the day when the planes would suddenly stop for no reason at all, and they died. Well, anyway.
It's so rare you actually get to use that pun aptly.
Well, anyway.
Fall from the sky, and I'll die. And I know that you'll never do such a thing. I guess love's no one. Cause as strange as it seems, when we live out our dreams, we forget how to care finally hit the ground. I guess we just stared at the stars. How far? And we didn't notice the ground closing in. We forgot all the meters, all the dials, and our warning lights. Cause as strange as it seems when we live out our dreams, we forget how to care as we are hanging out in thin air. We always forget the fact we're flying till we finally hit the ground. Cause as strange as it seems when we live out our dreams, we forget how to care as we are hanging out in thin air. Yes, as strange as it seems when we live out our dreams, we forget how to care as we're hanging out in thin air. We always forget the fact we're flying till we finally hit the ground.
You are listening to Radio Noir. This is Pat Doctor, your host, and Cleemann is in the studio. From your travels, do you find that is it easier to get around on certain places? Like, is it easier to travel as a touring artist in America or Europe?
Well, it depends on what your focus is. I think, generally in Europe, it's way easier to get around with public transportation for once thing. But that said, we make it work here as well, and there are good people everywhere, and that's kind of the main thing that you meet up with good and interesting people, as you.
Absolutely.
And you were mentioning that, well, not this tour, but you've actually received funding from the Danish government to tour in the past.
Yeah.
And that just fascinates me because, as musicians in America, we can't even get health care, let alone funding to make art.
Well, that's what you get for living in a socialist country. You actually get to go to the hospital and other horrible things. Well, but that is I'm aware of that is a privilege, and I'm thankful for it. But I in the end, if you just look at me and the amount of tax I pay, I don't. I might still be a pretty good business for the Danish society anyhow. So.
Well, I mean, is it easy to get money like that, or is it just as a convoluted process it is for applying to grants in the States?
I think it's easier actually. I'm so lucky that I married a woman who's really good at applying for these things. So basically, I just have to read it through and sign it. so that's not that hard.
All right, well, let's move on to another song. What's this one going to be called?
Oh, yeah, we should have decided on that before we started. But that would have meant that we would have to be pretty clever. Actually, we could do ambitious, and we could ask you to join in.
Sure.
And then after that, we would like to do another song. Well, we will probably talk in between, but we would like to do the song called "Absent" because there's the end part of it. We would like everyone in the house to join in on whatever sound they feel like making in the end.
Sure.
But yeah, let's do ambitious, and I'll just change back guitar. Yeah.
Did you mention my name yet?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's talk, Derek.
Just again, you know. Hello.
We got Derek on the bass, and you are in a lot of projects too.
Yeah, played for a long time. Besides playing with Cleemann, I have my own band, Derek Higgins Band. I'm also a member of the collective Sun Ambulance. We record on Saddle Creek Records and play jazz. And I'm just happy to say that I always play music that I like, And when Chris, who was a longtime fan of mine, approached me about Cleemann, he let me listen to the music, and I said, "Oh, without a doubt, this will work."
Yeah.
Yeah. And consequently, the 45 Minutes, seriously, is one of my favorite albums of last year. Yeah.
Well, if you all like what you hear, I encourage you to find it and get your hands on it.
Oh, whatever you want to put on it. I'm sorry.
Nasty ass Dane.
Yeah. I hope you edited this.
we won't.
So much more fun.
Down the street at night, what a sorry sight. In search of just one decent mind in a generation. He can't find none. Where have they all gone? Now I hear him say, a tiny house to call my own, smiling wife with the cordless phone bags. Oh, I really want a shiny car and a new TV, a neighbor who looks just like me. That is all I want. Who can blame it? After all, it doesn't sound like much. Just his basic needs. And I know exactly how he feels. want €1,000,000 and a noble cause. Want 1,000 nails and a tiny cross. That is all. That's all I want. I want a giant car to call my own. I want a clean white wife made of stone. That is all. That's all I want. I want a giant car and a huge TV. I want my neighborhood just like me. That's all I want. I go do 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 do. That's all I want. That's all.
You're listening to Radio Noir. This is Pat Tucker, your host, and Cleemann is in the studio. And yeah, occasionally I do that on this show.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, thank you.
That was nice.
That was awesome. That felt really good.
That was nice.
Now, what's next? Obviously, you're gonna go, Derek. You're gonna go back to Nebraska. So
Yeah.
you're not. So how are you gonna do the next leg? I mean,
Well, I because of my job, I'm not able to do all the dates, and so
so
you're gonna go out and do Colorado and the Northwest, right?
Yeah, first I'll go to Colorado and play all by my lonesome, and then I'll go to Seattle and I'll do a couple of gigs by myself, and I'll play together with some guys from a really wonderful band whose name I forgotten.
Is it
I'm re-
Poland?
Yeah,
Poland, yeah.
Poland, yeah.
Yeah.
Really
Good
cool.
band.
Good band.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go to Olympia, I think it is.
Mhm.
oh yeah.
And then I will miss Derek and Gary, the drummer, so much that I will head for Chicago, where we'll all meet.
We'll meet up in Chicago.
Yeah. And then I'll go to New York and do some stuff alone again, and then they'll come back. They're stalking me.
Mhm, yes, we'll finish out the tour with him in New York. His final New York date, we'll meet him there. I wish I could have done the whole tour, 'cause it's really been really magical,
Yeah.
including last night here at the house was awesome.
It was certainly something.
It was really a cool night.
It was a spectacle for sure.
I'm impressed you remember.
Yeah, pretty much. If anyone attended the house show, I also do that from time to time. on the
Very
show.
entertaining. Very.
Yeah, it
really
was a
fun.
blast.
Yeah.
Well, now, with all the traveling and playing in various places all over the world, does it all seem to blur together, or are there definite places where, when you revisit and play, you always look forward to, or does it, kind of...
I don't think they blur. No, I'm, the places I don't look forward to revisit, I don't come back to, so I look forward to for all the places
So I guess you could say you can't look forward because they're never going to be in forward. They're never going to be the thing that you're going to.
But it's wonderful. It was truly wonderful to go back to Omaha and Lincoln, and also actually experience that some of the people who had been at the first shows up at the next one. That's kind of them, I guess. but basically, it's hard to get things or meet up with people who you don't look forward to meet again when you play music and meet other people who play music. For some reason, musicians are quite nice people.
Or
Sometimes.
Well, maybe I'm just lucky. Or
I think you take an aura with you. You know what I'm saying? You take it with you.
yeah, maybe I'm just naive and I don't know notice what's going on. But no matter what, I prefer it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got time for one more. Let's do this one.
Yeah, but actually, what we should get someone to do is find all the people in the house and see if they will come down and join us for the end part.
Sure. Yeah.
And they should grab whatever instrument or thing and make a sound, and we'll do a grand crescendo in the end, like day in the life type of thing. But while they're being gathered, I could present this song. Actually, well, yeah, you're a lefty. I'm sorry. Do you have a guitar here?
I do.
Yeah,
I could.
Well, you could plug into the amp. I could take the acoustic guitar.
Sure.
And we could do it like that.
This is always interesting. Is anyone listening in the control room? Could they grab my guitar from upstairs?
We hear movement. It's hard to define whether it's the sound of a guitar being grabbed, but it could be.
Well, actually, my pickup is askew. I could just use the mic I'm using. Oh yeah, there we go.
Just move that over to you, and
Sure.
everyone will be happy. And also, you
Just laughing all the time, TV shouting to my mind, I want to be loved by you. The lions grinning every day, trying so hard to say, I want to be loved by you. And the world, it seems so far away. Yeah, the world, it is so far away. Chairs are lifting off the ground, bed is jumping up and down. I want to be loved by you. And the world, it seems so far away. Yeah, the world,
You have been listening to Radio Noir.
Yeah.
This is Pat Doherty, your host, and that was Cleemann. And wow, just thank you for coming.
That was the bomb.
I want to thank John Peters, our studio engineer, drummer, and noisemaker. Nick Lee, filmer and noisemaker. I can't really thank myself, but
Thank you, Pat.
thank you for coming. It was awesome. I loved having you guys. And most important, I want to thank all you listeners out there. Please keep in touch.
Not enough of anything is far too much for anyone.
All right, so after a year of hibernating in a digital cell, a digital prison, a digital storage locker, the Cleemann session is finally out, and I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. Big news. The Secondhand Opera Artist Collective, of which I'm a part of, is releasing all their artist catalog into real record stores. And that includes my album, Love Stories and Picture Shows. So we're having a faux release show for that event. Tuesday, April 5th at the Fine Line with Elephant and his Traveling Circus. So come check that out. Come watch us officially sell out. And if you don't have a copy or do you want a physical copy, head down to the Electric Fetus and pick up a freshly shrink-wrapped copy of Love Stories and Picture Shows. It'll be the handmade album that smells like commerce. Under D for Dr. D. But anyway, I want to thank Cleemann for coming on the show. If you're ever in the States again, let me know. I'd love to catch a show or a cup of coffee, whatever comes first. I want to thank John Peters for running sound on that session, and of course I want to thank all you listeners out there. Please keep in touch.